Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick video. It's another recent finds from eBay, so it's the second one, I think, so far actually, to be honest. During the whole lockdown period, of course, I've ordered a few more items that I'm going to show you. Interesting bits and pieces, of course. It's mainly DVDs this time again. Mostly DVDs, one book and one LP. Very much, and I'm looking forward to show you what I've got. So let's get down to it. So first up we've got is Head of Games by Steve Lyons. This is Virgin New Adventures. This was published in October 1995. Brilliant, memorable art cover as well. That is brilliant, of course. So this, well, supposedly the Seventh Doctor trying to shoot a Mel in the TARDIS. Interesting. Head Games, really good one. I think named after the Foreigner song actually, which is actually a good song actually by Foreigner. Yeah, written by Steve Lyons. This is actually a sequel to his previous novel, Conundrum. That was in January 94. So it's sort of like, yeah, it's sort of a loose trilogy with the Land of Fiction, if you know what I mean. Bill Donahue did the cover, which is very nice. He also did the Damaged Goods cover as well. Really good artwork he's done, actually, Bill Donahue. Good stuff. Yeah, but it's a decent novel. I don't know what people think of it really, but it was added to the collection, which was going a bit cheap actually. I thought, might as well get this actually. That's Head Games by Steve Lyons. So that's another Virgin New Adventure added to the collection. I'm getting quite a lot of these actually, believe it or not. I've got quite a lot of these so far in my collection. Probably I'll show you eventually. Still got a few more to get there eventually. Oh, it's slowly progressing, mostly progressing. I'm quite pleased I've got this actually. Hell yes. Now next up we have DVDs now, so quite a few DVDs to show you first. This one is a free film pack that I found. I thought was very interesting actually. I thought might as well get this actually because it's very interesting. There's also a film that my mother remembers fondly, and I'll show you now. It's this free disc box set, or free disc collection of course. You have the BFG, the original BFG with Sir David Jason as well, so that's pretty good. The original Warship Down from 1978 on here. Pretty good, and the original '83 version of The Wind and the Willows by Gothic Films, fantastic, really good stuff. This came out in 2017. This did, so yeah, it's all about Universal Pictures, of course. So the obviously on the rights they do. Get the little thing there as well. So you got the BFG, you have Warship Down, and I believe that's the reissue of the. I'm sorry, excuse me, this is right. I believe that's the reissue for The Wind and the Willows that came out recently. So yeah. Above that, it's a very decent collection, very odd collection actually. You know, I think with the BFG and the Windmills, yes, that is all right actually. But the inclusion of Warship Down is questionable, really. You know, but it's a really interesting find actually. They were selling quite a lot on eBay for cheap, and they're buy it now and stuff like that. So I thought, might as well get one actually. You know, and my mum was quite pleased that she finally has to own this now. Whereas she bought DVD many years ago, but that was actually the TV series that was broadcast on CITV. Don't bother with that. Stick to this one. But also the recent one that came out a couple of years ago. Try that as well. This is pretty good stuff actually. So it's a decent little find. Nice add to the collection, of course. So I'll give it a watch eventually. Very nice. Speaking of Cosgrove Hall, my showcase is on the Facebook page for the Winds and Willows Facebook page. I'm on actually, courtesy of BazBan93. Cheers again, Baz, for inviting me, of course. A lot of interesting stuff, and it's these promotional DVDs. So these came from the Daily Mail. I think about 2008 these were released. Promotional stuff just include a bunch of episodes, of course, from the TV series Wind and the Willows, of course. I think the showcases now actually. So they only released 3 of these actually. I didn't expect to release more of these actually. So who knows? Shame, you know. But it's worth what you can find on newspaper releases, you know, that sort of thing. You get stuff like these, promotional stuff for new shows, and a little compilation of like sitcoms, which I do have actually. Some people remember Haven Ballion and Bless His House as well, I think. 3 shows on one DVD, which is quite strange really, but I might show that eventually. I've still got quite a load downstairs actually. A lot of Carry On films and a few bits and pieces of films actually, so yeah. One thing. So we'll start with this one. So this is Spring and Summer. Spring Follies, Summer Escapades, of course. Quite interesting stuff on here as well. We have The Great Steamer from Series 1, Lost River from Series 4, and Paper Chase from Series 3. So it's a bit of a new, different configuration, of course, for Spring Follies. So it's another different alternative version of it. You know, there was the 88 version, this 95 version that carried on from to the 2000 version, and then obviously we've got this one, the 2008 version. So yeah, and for Summer Escapade, you have the Grand Annual Show, Tall Photographer, and the Great Golf and Gamble. So yeah, again, pretty good. I mean, good stuff actually. Taken from that box set there, mind you. There's another box that was released maybe a few years back. Of course, that's hard to find now. It costs a lot. It costs maybe about £120 on Amazon, strangely. But try and find a cheap price, and I think the closest maybe to about £80 for a box set of this, everything, all 5 seasons and 2 feature films. My God, you know. Speaking of which, I should forget the others. Autumn and Winter, Autumn Antics and Winter Tales on there. And of course, you get Harvest, Monster of the Wildwood, Remember, Winter Sports, The Rescue, and the Yuletide Entertainment. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I think that's the edited version, the trade-made version of the Yuletide Entertainment. It is actually, because they only released it in region 1, and the States, the uncut version, on DVD. Why? I don't know. Shame that is. That's pretty good. And the last one is quite a different one actually, because it's the 6 classic episodes from the first series. So these are basically like the very first episodes of Series 1 from 1984. So in this one, of course, you have the Further Adventures of Toad, The Kidnapping of Toad, The Ghost of Mole End, Buried Treasure, Mole's Cousin, and The Open Road Again. Bits of, or interestingly, because obviously, let me think. Grand Annual Show and Great Steam are on here, so they don't want to repeat themselves. So they basically put the other ones on, of course. You know, Buried Treasure, Mole's Cousin, Open Road Again. So yeah. But it's pretty decent actually. So it's nice to obtain them, of course. Add them to the collection. I think it's maybe because Buzz Bunter and I asked me on my Q&A, do I own anyone doing those DVDs? Sadly I don't. And I don't want to be say, no, I don't own any DVDs. I only have the VHS. So I don't want to be the spirit, of course. So I eventually that's basically these really, you know, decent enough. It's about I have like 18 episodes total now, this one. So probably won't get the complete box set, but these promo DVDs will do actually. Quite nice actually. A bit of an oddity itself, you know, because I think the people on the Facebook page will probably think, you know, it's not what you expect really, you know. You can expect the original film, of course, but not maybe a complete box set, all VHS releases, but not these entirely, because they've never been really discussed really, unlike all the rest. So yeah, pretty decent finds these are. Pretty good. Now the next thing I've got is an interesting one. I don't know if people have actually know about this one, of course. It's still by Raymond Briggs, of course. Probably not the one, I think it's like one of those sort of least remembered ones, but it is quite famous for its own writing. Came out at a time, of course, during the Reagan and Thatcher era, of course. And that's When the Wind Blows. This is fabulous. Well, not really. It's good, but it's dark as well. It's quite sad as well. You know, basically about an elderly couple living in a cottage in the countryside, of course. They somehow survive a nuclear blast, but yeah, they basically die in the end, really, because of radiation poisoning. Yeah. What a story. Again, Raymond Briggs wrote this, but I think in 1982 he wrote this. This was released, well, the thing came out in 1986, I think. But it says on here like 1987. I think that's when it was released actually on home video, I think. So yeah, released on Channel 4 DVD. Again, just that really. But it's a really good film. I just watched it yesterday actually, just to, you know, I might give this a watch. I don't know if it has to do because I had a day off I did, so I thought I might give this a watch. And yes, very good. From the producers of The Magical Snowman, When the Wind Blows features the original soundtrack by Roger Waters, and the title song sung by the late great David Bowie. And it's voiced and performed by the late Sir John Mills and Dame Peggy Ashcroft. Oh yes. Soundtrack's really good actually. There's a really good stuff really on there. Roger Waters is what's it called, like a Lonely Hearts Band or something he calls it. And the soundtrack, really good. Title song again by David Bowie is great, of course. But interesting that it's features got like footage as well from like real life footage of wars and stuff. The internet in bits and pieces. Pretty interesting stuff. I'll probably do movie reviews of this actually eventually at some point. Probably the next series actually, because there's quite a bit of interesting word stuff talking about this really. I mean, people have covered it beforehand, but I think it needs more coverage. I think so. Yeah, but it's really fantastic. If you haven't, try and get a copy of this. Your mind will be blown. Trust me. It might make you think, you know, you could probably think it'll be sad as well, but give this a watch. If you can get your hands on it, of course, you know, definitely worth it. When the Wind Blows. Next up we got is... Now I remember this actually because I remember I've heard of the series many years ago, courtesy of my mother. But she's got the second series she has, and I think the second series doesn't do it justice, of course. So I eventually got this. This is Urban Gothic, Series 1. So this came out in 2000. This was a Channel 5 programme. Just, I think, like, during the summer of 2000, this came out, actually. It's a horror anthology in the sort of like Twilight Zone, that type of style, really. Indeed. 13 episodes. There's a really good selection of stuff on here as well. I can't really go into much detail about it because I'm going to save that for a Go Disc review, of course. But this is fabulous. It's a very unloved gem. I think people forgot about this, really, of course, until many years later. But I do remember when my mum got the second series from MVC. Who remembers MVC back in those days? My goodness. Complete box set, of course. That has 9 episodes in it, but it doesn't really stand up well because it features a very heavy story arc. And most episodes really deal with that sort of story arc and that sort of main plot. There's like three or four standalone stories to it, but 3 of them, I think, yeah, 3 of them stand better. But this one, these stand up very well in terms of like different styles. There's some weird plot points in here as well. It's just bonkers and crazy, and a good select, and quite some well-known actors as well from TV, especially soap actors. Really, if you're familiar with soap characters, if you watch soaps for many years, you'll probably think, oh, it's that guy. He's in this. He's in episode 6, of course. And why has he got that strange name? Is he meant to be a different origin of language and stuff? You know, that sort of thing. I'll get to that eventually when I do the review of this, because this is worth talking about. Urban Gothic, Series 1. I'll probably have to show you this actually, because it's open like this, like in the same as Series 2 as well, actually. So, again, that's the cover, of course. And the same in the back, of course. Nothing really spectacular as well. Just 2 discs in that one. The second one came with a booklet, actually. I think the discs are piled on top of each other on the right side. On the left side, you have a booklet. I think that's actually a short story written by Simon Clarke, I think. But most of these are written by a guy called Tom DeVille. I'll get to there eventually. But if you're interested in watching the series, watch this first series. Really, because this is what you expect from this TV show. It's an anthology, just doing different bits and pieces, vampires, resurrections and stuff like that. It's really just fascinating stuff. There's some really good stuff. I'll probably, again, go this review. I will definitely talk about this. Definitely. It's worth talking about. Yes. I've said too much. And the last one is an LP, of course. This actually came today, and I found I was on top of a tumble dryer, and I found kind of surprised no one has ever stolen it yet. Strangely, you know, it's just been left on a tumble dryer. I'm surprised no one has ever been bothered taking it, which is a good relief actually, because this album is quite well. Original copies can become a bit of a hard to find, but this one I found just quite cheap, and I thought it'd be interesting actually. So yeah, I haven't opened it yet actually, so it's still its little plastic sleeving. It is Odessa by the Bee Gees. This is from 1969. This is a 1976 reissue by RSO. The original one was done by Atco, actually, because it has like Atco emblem there. You can see there's an RSO. You can't really see properly on the plastic, but there's that logo there embedded in. Also, they put the LP in the back, actually, for the packaging. A bit strange, really. Haven't opened it yet, but I will do eventually. At some point, maybe not today, actually. You know, rather than just keep it still, I'll just go brand new, so it's nice. Wonderful. Perfect. So this is the 4th album, and originally this was originally a double album. This is for a velvet cover on embossed gold lettering, and of course it was a gatefold. This is a single disc, of course, and they actually omitted quite a few tracks on this one to make it fill down to a single disc. So yeah, so this is from 1976. They only did this with this one. Only with this album, really. I think the only time they actually did this in the 70s. You know, this is at the time when they were doing like Jive Talking and before Saturday Night Fever and everything else. So yeah, basically around that time actually, and they decided to release this, but they have edited a lot of stuff down actually. And I think Lamplight is not on this actually, strangely. But yeah, who knows? But it's interesting getting to, because I've been looking for this for many years. I've got the other 3 BG albums, of course, from the 60s, so this completes the set. So I'm pretty happy now. It's a bit teared off the side, actually. This actually is I think it's actually a a radio promotional radio copy, actually, I think. Not to be sold, but only used for radios, I think. That's what it said. But it's probably unprinted in the back here somewhere. You know, I just can't really see from here, but I haven't really popped it up and I have the sleeve yet. Not really, but I will do eventually, but not on camera. But there we go, guys. Those are my recent finds from eBay. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you for the next video, and stay safe, have a good time.